everyone. My name is Dr. Tyra Good, and I am the Executive Director for the Center for Equity in Urban Education at Elms College in Western Mass. And so, through the program is a new program, and the full aim of the program is to diversify the teaching pipeline. So, to get more African American and Latinx educators in the classroom being certified. And so that is the focus of the program in my role at Elms. And I'm also an associate professor of education in the education department, and I teach through an anti-racist social justice lens.
That's
That's
awesome.
incredible. And we are so excited to have you at Building Bridges. You have an amazing session planned for us. Will you tell us a little bit about that session?
Oh, absolutely. So I am excited to be a part of the conference. And I would say for the onset, the title of the Building Bridges really captured me because that is the type of person who I am. And so the titles of my session is The Journey to Becoming a Good Educator, Preparing Culturally Responsive Early Childhood Educators. And within that session, I will center a lot of the work that I do in my teacher education courses about how I prepare pre-service or even current educators to be more culturally responsive in their practice. So, and then it's not just me. Along with me, when we talk about bridging the gap or building bridges, it will also be three students that I'm going to have with me. The first student is actually my current student. His name is Shaquille Stanley, and he works with Springfield Public Schools, and he is working within the Early Childhood Care Center. The other person I have with me that will be co-presenting is Michael White. Michael White is a former student of mine that went through one of my programs. And Michael was director of an early child care center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And so he's going to be sharing his experience. And the other person that's going to be joining is Lamarcus Hall. And Lamarcus is one of my mentees. Just as Michael Lamarcus is working on his doctoral program, and he was also a director of a child care service. And so I think one of the things when I thought about presenting a part of the conference that would do something that would make it stand out for us was to have the voices of African American educators, but to center the voices of African American males. And so when we think about just education, when we think about, I would say, early child elementary education, there's not a lot of males within that. Then when we get to early child care, the number goes down. And then to have three Black males who was working as directors or assistant directors within that area, I thought that it will be good to really share about their experiences, their communication, different things that they have with the community and also with the parents, and to share some best practices with their colleagues.
That's amazing. What do you hope for people coming to your session that they'll kind of walk away with or, think differently about?
Wow. I mean, I think one of the things as we talk about culturally responsive teaching, when we talk about educating Black and Brown educators, to know that, yeah, right now there is a shortage, but there is a change coming. And to really give them that place and space to share their knowledge and their experience. And I think another thing too is as organizations, school districts say that they want Black and Brown educators, are you prepared to receive them in your space? And so, along with their journey of how they came to the various positions that they're in, they're also going to share some of those struggles and challenges that, as the participants or you all are listening in, you can take some things back to your organization, to your childcare program in regards to looking at now staff development, marketing, grant funding, interaction with parents, because they're going to share some of their experience that all the time wasn't very welcoming for them.
Mhm. And so you talked a little bit about sharing best practices. Is that too about creating that environment that you say makes space and listens to voices?
Definitely. It is going to be about creating that environment. So one, that focus on recruitment and retention, but that retention, is that creating that environment. So are you providing that space that is going to keep someone there, that is also going to value them and to see them in their full worth and capacity too, as well, and to see them being in different leadership roles so they can move up.
So most of our participants are going to be educators, and many might feel like this, this is advice they might take back to their centers, so they feel that the space is being made for them or their colleagues and friends. What would you say to an educator thinking about signing up for this session, but might be a little worried about, causing ripples or making waves in a sense?
Right. I would say definitely sign up. You're going to hear a lot of good points that we're going to share, but also too, in regards to the hesitation about making ripples,
Mhm.
as you begin to talk about anti-racism, as you begin to talk about culturally responsive teaching and pedagogy, those are different things that if you're talking about them and you feel like completely comfortable, then you're not talking about them deep enough, on the level that needs to be systemic enough to make change. And so we'll be able to walk through some of those things, but on the onset, that's what I would say. We need to get to that place where we all learn different things, and what is the process of learning, unlearning to relearn, to make sure that you're providing a place that is truly of diversity and being very inclusive in your practice and policies, and not just in a mission statement or just words that you say. And so we're going to share things that can help you move forward on your journey to becoming that good educator, to be able to stand up when you go back to your school districts, when you go back to your early child care centers, when you go back even to university places of higher ed or community-based organizations that you may not have the end all or be all, like I left this session, this is everything, but we're going to at least start you on your journey, and wherever you're at, we're going to meet you where you are and grow you from there.